Well, hello there, guys. This is Dwayne with Castlesandattics, and we're going to go through another episode of Buying and Education. I really enjoy the YouTube community. I've enjoyed being able to make videos and talk with people. I've received a lot of emails and a lot of questions, and it's really simple to me that for this episode, what to share about on buying and education. First off, if you ever get started in a business, the first thing anybody's going to say is, do you have a business plan? Have you sat down and really counted the cost of buying and selling? For me, I'm an antique dealer. I don't buy Nike tennis shoes. I don't buy houses with couches and microwaves and refrigerators and washers and dryers. I'm an antique dealer. I know what I want to buy and sell. Do you? Doesn't mean there isn't value in those things. Doesn't mean there isn't value in things like Bionicles or Hot Wheels cars. To me, there is, but it's not something I try to associate with. In turn, I don't have all the knowledge in the world in dealing with that. But I do know my knowledge in the antiques field and what to buy and sell for. And you know what else? I know where I sell it. I know what I think I'm going to need to make. And I know how much money I need to make in a year, even each month, to basically meet my family's needs, pay the tax man, and put some money aside for other expenses. That's part of life and part of a business plan. And I don't care if it's a part-time job for you. If you want to have a part-time job, you could go get one. If you want this to be a part-time business, you're going to have to invest into it. And if you went and got a part-time job, you could get one at McDonald's for $7 an hour, or maybe you could get one on the side of part of the career in what you do, and they might pay you a little bit more because you have a little bit more skill. So, coming down to the line, skill, knowledge. Where are you going to get knowledge in this business? Well, I can tell you what happened with me. I have knowledge because basically at 15 or 16, I started buying records. So I bought records. And you know what? As I got older, I was able to go into auctions and other places, flea markets, and buy records out of houses because not everybody there had enough knowledge. I also taught myself books because every auction I went to, there were books in them. Now, I would buy a flat of books for $2, $3, $5, and then I would sell them out, piece by piece, and I could mark them up $5 and $10 and $15. So you could spend $5 on a box and sell the box for $100. But it might take you 3 to 6 months. I don't do a lot of that now. I do that with records. You spend $20 on a box sometimes, you get $200 back out of the box. That's part of the joy of it. But I know when to spend $20, and I know not when to spend $1 on a box of 1,000, because I know when they're worthless. So I have some knowledge, and I have a little bit of an area where I have a little bit more expertise than everybody else when I walk out and see it. What is going to be your specialty area? Well, why do you need something to specialize in? Well, because you're going to spend too much money on something every now and then. And you know what you're going to do with it then? Look at it for a real long time. It's going to be one of your favorite pieces. It's going to teach you so much. You're going to think, man, I'm never spending that much money on that item. And then one day you're going to go and give it to an auctioneer, and he's going to get about 1/3 of what you paid for it. And then you're going to blame the auctioneer. But that's okay. That's all part of life, and then you'll get over it, and then you'll be able to buy it again for less and sell it for around the price the auctioneer sold it, and you'll be knowledgeable. You see where I'm going with this? You have to buy your education. I bought people breakfast. I found mentors. I studied. I drove around in a van that cost me $40. $40 for a couple years of my life. I call that buying the education, getting a doctorate in the antiques world. Fortunately, I don't have to do that these days. Doesn't mean I have a nice car, but that's what I started out with. I didn't make a lot of money in this business. Everything I did was just back and forth into it. But I knew that if I stuck with it, I'd come out on the other side. And you too can. You just have to keep working at it. So with that, how are you going to get your education? Here's some advice. You're going to have to find some peers you can relate with. Hey Bill, I saw you bought that pen the other day. What'd you get out of it? Oh, I ended up bringing about $20 on eBay. I was really happy. Hey, Bill. Hey, I also saw, since you asked me, you bought that camera. Did you do any good with it? No, I lost $10. You're going to have to find people that you can share information with and trade it fairly and openly. And in turn, you might have to do some favors to get that. Buy a pop, buy a coffee, be polite, don't always run them up on everything. You know, when you get information, don't bid against them when you know that they're going to bid on it at the same auction as you. You know, for me, I got an apprenticeship job. I went to work for an auction company. You know, I did that when I came to Indianapolis because I was going to sink or swim. So I changed my paradigm. I went out and became an auctioneer, went to work for an auction company, and fortunately was rewarded for my hard work. And in turn, got a great education, learned some great stuff. But before that, when I first got started, I volunteered at auction companies. I was paid sometimes to haul things out of houses and help set up sales, but other times I would work rings at auctions for free. I would pick up an item, walk it over and say, this is what you're selling, and I would deliver it, all for free. Why? Because every now and then an auctioneer would give me 10 or 20 bucks for helping out, but I learned what people bought, and I learned what they paid, and I learned their faces, and that's what you do. You might have to go get a job at an antique shop or an antique mall. You might go get a job at a consignment shop. You know, you might have to find a way to give your time to get a little bit of knowledge. There's a guy here locally working with a local auctioneer. I really like the guy a lot, and I wish him the best of luck. But you know what? He's out there doing his job. He's doing the grunt work of wrapping up the furniture. He's doing all the grunt work of, you know, mopping the floor and getting things straightened up. That's his job. I got a guy that works for me right now. And you know what? I think, in all fairness, he's getting a good deal. He gets to sit around and see how I price something, what I pay for it, what my knowledge is worth, what my time is worth. And I noticed lately he's been buying some of the same things he's learned from me when I'm not around. That's how it works, guys. You got to realize it's not a short-term game. You're not going to go out and buy a storage locker and become rich. Look at Jared on Storage Wars. It's been 2 years and he finally hit like an $8,000 or $10,000 score. 2 years it took him. Do you have 2 years to make $8,000 or $10,000? And then how long is $8,000 or $10,000 really going to last you? Probably got bills from behind, and you're probably going to have bills before you. It's going to go away pretty quick. And when you have $8,000 or $10,000, it's easier to spend it. I promise you. I promise you go out and spend an extra $1,000 you didn't think you were going to. But anyways, hey, that's my opinion. Hope you can learn to buy an education. Thanks for watching. Till we meet again, keep a song in your heart.